Welcome to another edition of TLU. Let's talk about everything we want to talk about in today's day. My name is John.
I am Ash.
And today we got some good news, we got some reviews, and we got some doozies.
Some doozy.
But first off, we want to say Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. I hope your day is been going very well today. There's a lot of news that has come out, a lot of rumors that have been shown lately, but you know, there's so much that we could actually talk about in a span of time. And today we had to start a little bit later on because, you know, I work too.
Life happens.
Life happens. So yeah, I hope everyone is doing perfectly excellently fine. And as always, today we're going to start off with theater universe. But Ash, do you want to start us off today with what we got for the week, and we can end it as well like that?
What we got for the weekend?
For the week, what we got for the week?
The spotlight of the week?
No. This week on TLU's YouTube.
Oh, I was like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure. So let's talk about what we have for this week at the Legacy Universe YouTube. We have a fresh video, which is a trailer reaction to Godzilla versus Kong. Let me see. So you can see the title. There you go. Yep. So basically we reacted to, I love this thumbnail. It's really funny. Basically, we reacted to the trailer for Godzilla versus Kong, which is coming out in March, I believe, right? Is that correct?
If I am not mistaken, yes.
It's going to come out in theaters and HBO Max. And we talked a little bit about Godzilla, King of Monsters. Did I say it right?
Godzilla, King of Monsters. Yes.
And Kong Skull Island, not Skunk Island.
Island.
Which, funny enough, we actually saw the movie the day before we saw this trailer. And I didn't like Kong Skull Island at all.
It was honestly one of the few movies that I actually fell asleep.
Yep.
Watching. And
it wasn't even
a
doozy.
It wasn't a doozy.
Thank you to everybody who is joining us right now. We are starting with what we have this week for the Legacy Universe's YouTube channel, and it is a trailer reaction to Godzilla versus Kong. So let us know in the comments, are you guys team Godzilla or team King Kong? Who are you rooting for in this epic battle?
I am Kong all the way.
I am Team Kong too.
Agile. He can beat anybody, but I mean, he's not. I guess you can call him super. So he's super. Like everybody, both are super. That's why they're huge. Yeah. That's the point.
Yeah.
But anything else for this?
So that's going to be all that we have for the Legacy Universe YouTube. If you are watching this live and you want to see it again or you missed it, don't sweat it. It'll be up either between tomorrow and Friday. It'll be up on our YouTube channel, highlights there. And then we're going to have the whole live at the Legacy Universe Live, which is our second channel that has all of our awesome streams on Twitch and our live shows. So that is going to be all. Ka-ching!
For sure. All right. So let's begin our Wednesday night with the first universe, as we always speak of. It is theater universe. Take it away, Ash.
Yes. So the first news that I have for theater this week is something that I think is really cool. And it is the fact that various leagues and unions have co-signed a letter to help with COVID-19 vaccine. So basically, this is another effort that the Broadway community is trying to do for theater to come back. In this case, the Broadway League has co-signed a letter in order to assist with the rollout of COVID-19 vaccines. This letter was addressed to President Joe Biden, and it includes the partnership of other unions and leagues colleagues in the Broadway community, including the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees and the International Association of Venue Managers. So the goal for this initiative is for theaters to open their doors in order to transform these stages into vaccine sites for the public, which I think is really cool. California is doing something similar because, as we all know, the Disneyland in California has not opened ever since the pandemic started, but they are using Disneyland as a vaccine site. So you go to the park to get your appointment to get the vaccine. So the Broadway community, the Broadway League basically said like, hey, why don't you let us come back to work, but we will work for the public health. Use our theaters, which can be additional venues for vaccine sites so that COVID can go away and we can actually go back to work full. And I think it's a great initiative if you ask me.
Yeah, I think it's a great initiative because, you know, everybody wants to get back to what's normalcy, if that's the word. And there's a lot of things that got backed up and, you know, careers and professions, our jobs that got delayed because of 2020 and because of COVID, and everybody wants to get back out there. You know, it's some people can sustain so much isolation and not working the way that they used to. You know, it's at first it could seem a bit like, oh yeah, it's, you know, it's I'm alone with my family or my girlfriend or my wife, and you're at peace. But then there's this moment where sometimes you forget that. I think there's a way of saying it because one of my coworkers or even my boss actually said, I even forgot that I missed socializing with so-and-so person, like specific people. And like, I know that not everybody, you know, is social as that, but it was more of an individual sense. So, you know, like missing having to be with your family. And we're like, for example, us, we are ones that have not been able to fly out to Puerto Rico because, you know, we want to keep them safe. And I've heard that there's a lot of people already flying in airplanes, like a bunch. There's no space in between them. So not to be a skeptic or anything like that, but it's, you know, even though we're following protocol, do we know if the you know, the airlines are actually following the right protocol and cleaning you know, the seats, the flights as they should?
And that's not the only thing. I think another issue that people have discussed is the fact that everybody has a different policy. Yes, some places that have been open to kids not having masks. There's other airlines that tell you if your kid doesn't have a mask, he or she can't go into the flight. So it's kind of a complicated situation in terms of what the policy is or it should be. Yeah. And that's the situation. So, and everybody needs to go into that's the problem. Everybody needs to decide exactly what should be done, and it's globally. It's like not one here, one there. That's why when we get these people where they feel like they have rights to certain things, which is like not wearing a mask, honestly, this is a situation that it's globally. And if just wearing a mask can save a lot of people and you can save people, why not do it, man? Like you can wear a mask for what? For a Halloween costume, but you don't want to wear it for, I don't know, like 3-4 hours that you're out in the day, or 8. That's crazy.
I'm out 8 hours of the day, and not once, and I swear to whomever you believe in, not once do I take my mask off.
That's true.
Yeah, so it's like, what's up, MacDiel?
Oh man. Hey, man, what's up?
How are you doing?
Thank you for being here.
Welcome, man.
Yay.
It's been a while.
Thank you to everybody who is joining us on our live. Welcome to TLU. Let's talk about it. We are currently talking about the theater universe and the news that various leagues and unions have co-signed a letter to help with COVID-19 vaccines, which means that they basically want to reopen the Broadway theaters, but use them as vaccine sites. On that note, I wanted to tell you that it's not only going to be theaters, but also this effort is aiming to include ticketing systems in order to manage crowds and utilizing their workforce. So it's kind of like you, instead of getting a Broadway ticket, you get your ticket for your appointment for the vaccine. I think this is very efficient it's a great initiative on part of the Broadway League, a great way to bring people back to their jobs. And I think it's going to be cool to have these extra venues. I really hope that Joe Biden reads this letter and says, hey, let's totally do this. Because right now, I think in New York City, only the Javits Center is open for as a vaccine site. And I think they're aiming to open Yankee Stadium as well.
Thank you.
So you can go, hey, you can go to Yankee Stadium to get your vaccine now.
To Yankee Stadium to get my vaccine.
Yeah.
You know, that's actually that's cool. Yes.
So yeah, that's gonna be all for this news. I hope it's a way to start bringing people back to work, because people need it, especially the Broadway community. So
yeah, most definitely, honestly, yes. So we're gonna jump into the next news of the theater universe and the last one. Here we go. Take it away.
So this, I love this news because the New York Theater Workshop is going to celebrate Rent the musical, which I love. So usually the New York Theater Workshop has an annual gala, but this year they have decided to honor the 25th anniversary of Rent. This is a musical that was written by Jonathan Larson. It is a Tony Award-winning musical, a Pulitzer Prize-winning musical, and curiously enough, the New York Theater Workshop was the workshop where this musical started. So in 1993, they had the workshop production, which sadly, Jonathan Larson, who created the show, passed away in the morning, so he couldn't see his musical come to fruition. And then in 1996, the New York Theater Workshop, the New York Theater Workshop has its official premiere, and then it went to Broadway for 12 years. This gala is going to be amazing because all of these people that you guys see in the picture, which is the original cast, I did put a little bubble on Rosario Dawson's face because she's not the original Mimi. She is the movie Mimi. The Daphne Rubin Vega is the original Mimi. So all of this cast that you guys see here, they are going to be in this gala celebrating 25 years of Rent, the musical, and it's going to be virtually. So I think it's going to be really freaking cool. And this is a fun way to support the New York Theater Workshop because thanks to their annual gala, they actually make 10%, I believe, of their revenue for that year. And they are also going to take all of the proceeds from this special gala dedicated to Rent for their virtual programming, plays and musicals that they present online. So this is going to be sick, man. I would kill to see this. I love this show.
It's fantastic. And we got here, great to listen to you guys. And these news are wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Mag. I appreciate that.
By the way, you guys can check out Mag, Angelo, and Chris in Cine PR. They are live every Friday at 8 p.m. So they also talk about the latest news for movies, TV shows, Marvel, DC, etc. So definitely go check them out if you guys haven't checked them out. Like their page and see them every Friday live.
Most definitely.
And I'm freaking excited about this news. I love it.
I remember that show me Rent, the musical. It wasn't the movie. I think we didn't see the movie. We saw the musical.
No, because I don't like the movie. Sorry. There is if you guys are interested in seeing Rent, go see the last show that was filmed on Broadway. They did a professional pro shot of the last show on Broadway.
It's really good.
Incredible.
It was really good, and I enjoyed it. And Rent is a great musical. You know, it actually speaks of a lot of, how can you put this? Because I don't want to say it's like it's a sickness, but it speaks of, friendship, love, unhealthy behaviors, unhealthy hobbies. It speaks pretty much mostly about a daily life, I think, right? It's just, and you can relate to it at a certain degree, and it has different characters that can actually help you match up with what your view of your life is. And let me tell you something, the best character in this that I saw was I forgot the name. What was the name?
Angel. He's the freaking best.
Was the greatest character that I had ever
seen.
Today
for you, tomorrow
in a
for
musical.
Me. I love it.
It was mind-blowing. Look, put the picture up again. So I want to tell people who that is. Angel is the one. It's the fourth one to the right. It's the one that has like the green dress with that's holding the guy with the beanie, the black beanie.
So it's the couple that is next to Idina Menzel. So when you see Idina Menzel, you have Angel, who is a fantastic character in the show. Like I love the solo. That song that I sang is his big solo, and he has high heels and he's doing like these twirls and like hitting everything with drumsticks. It's insane. I feel that this production, if it comes out now, it's gonna be incredible. If it comes back to Broadway in 2021, 2022, or 2023, I think it would be incredible, man. This musical is it's inspiring, it's beautiful, it's beautifully written by somebody who freaking passed away the morning before it premiered because of AIDS, and AIDS is one of the most mentioned sickness in the show. Almost every character in the show has AIDS, and it's crazy.
Yeah, that's the thing about the show. That's the thing about the show, that everybody has AIDS. They have a sickness, and they try and push themselves to actually, survive and not get downed because of it. That's why Angel is a fantastic character, because it actually helps them bloom and blow up. And Angel's always looking at life extremely positive. And I'm getting goosebumps because this character is so alive. This character is so alive and so like, whoa. So every time it's an amazing character, and every time I saw him or her on screen, it was insane. It was, the way he or she danced, like it was, I don't know, he had that sense of you cannot ignore it. And as soon as the music started and you heard their voice, it was like, oh my God, here we go, Angel. So it was insane. It was fantastic. No problem, Mac. No problem for the shout out.
Ya tú sabes.
Here we go. Hi, bellos. Bendición.
Before we step into our next universe and other news, I want to give a shout out to my dad. Okay, check this out. I went crazy. I have my dad. He doesn't know a lot about Star Wars. I don't think he understands it.
I'm gonna give you the spotlight for this. Wait.
See. Yeah. So my dad, he doesn't understand Star Wars that much, but he knows that I love The Mandalorian. So first of all, for my birthday, he sent me this little baby Yoda. So cute. And today, I got this in the mail.
Yay!
Isn't that crazy? He sent me a Mandalorian because he said that I had the baby Yoda, but I was missing the Mandalorian.
That's the Mandalorian insane. Without the Beskar armor. That's like
this is season 1. This is season 1 Mando. That's crazy. So, gracias, papi. Te amo. Mira qué lindo, mira qué lindo. That's all. That's all. Tenía que darle spotlight porque
definitely no obligado. You gotta.
Está precioso, me encanta.
Yes. So all right. Let's jump into the movie and TV universe, guys. And here we go. Today or yesterday was like about 2 to 3 weeks ago. Not weeks. No. 2 to 3 days ago, where we actually saw this news. And it was kind of like, oh my gosh. But
you got to give a backstory as to why it was, oh my gosh, because we were talking about this on Saturday.
But okay, here we go. Harry Potter set to have a live action series on HBO Max? What?
Okay.
So I'll give you a backstory on this. I believe it was Saturday, right?
Yes.
Saturday, we were talking about Game of Thrones.
And John finished Game of Thrones.
So. I finished Game of Thrones. And by the way, there might be a Game of Thrones specials of us talking about the series, the entire series, up to all the way to the finale. So stay tuned for that. But yes, we were talking about Game of Thrones, and we were speaking of how Game of Thrones would have had a better ending according to the masses. In my opinion, the ending was still great. It's just that it was lacking a lot of detail. Henceforth, 4 episodes and then 2 episodes from season 7. But again, they explained that it was lack of budget and then pressure to actually go into other projects. So there was a mixture of things, that the reasons why it didn't happen. But from that, we jumped into, and I was speaking to my boss and Ash, and I was telling them that if Harry Potter were to be a series on HBO Max, Harry Potter will probably be the best show, one of the best shows ever in TV, because it has the liberty to do anything it wants, and everything that we actually missed from the books in every Harry Potter movie, which was the details of all books, especially what we considered something that got like thrown out of the way was a Professor Snape's story, and how he actually was the true hero of this entire book series, protecting the chosen one, which was Harry Potter. And nobody ever saw this, because you always saw them as a grumpy guy that always wanted to fault him. But in reality, he was just, going through some trouble of, childhood, because his father was actually a bully to Snape, but Snape was taking it out on his son. And at the same time, he knew that it wasn't his fault. He was trying to protect him. So Dumbledore was the one that actually hired and acquired Snape and believed in him that he would not be a Death Eater anymore. Like, Snape was actually a bad guy before, because of the mistreatment that James Potter did to him when he was in high school. That would be a great Harry Potter story to actually dive into, like the years before everything happened up to Harry Potter's birth. That would be amazingly great.
I was gonna say that before we get into like the whole dilemma that's happening, I was gonna say that I agree with you on that, because I felt that we were starting to see this side of Snape, but by the time that we saw it, he sadly gets killed in the film.
Yeah.
So when we get to that point where you're just like, oh my God, he was never a bad guy. Because I personally haven't read the books. I know the films. So I would like to read the books at some point so I can get that insight. But I got that feeling. Yeah, but I got that feeling with Snape. When I saw him, when I saw his backstory with Harry Potter's mom, I was just like,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What the hell?
For sure. And I'm going to read you guys something. This is from the Hollywood Reporter. It says, Harry Potter live action TV series in early development at HBO Max, exclusive. Sources tell the Hollywood Reporter that executives have had a series of meetings with writers with the goal of bringing the blockbuster franchise to television. Harry Potter live action series is in early development at HBO Max. Sources tell that Hollywood Reporter that executives have at the Warner Media backed streamer have engaged in multiple conversations with potential writers, exploring various ideas that would bring the beloved property to television. Sources say broad ideas have been discussed as part of an early stage exploratory meetings. So there is there are no Harry Potter series in development at the studio or at the streaming platform. This is weird, because while this news that executives at HBO and Warner's are engaging in meetings to find a writer and pitch for Harry Potter TV series, no writers or talent are currently attached at the conversations. Are still extremely early stages. No deals have been made. So these conversations are happening. There are wishes, there are desires for this show to actually come up and be done. But it is still like very infant. Let's say the project is very infant. We still got a long way to go. And sometimes I think you said that Warner Brothers in a certain post kind of denied it.
Yeah, I opened the tab for you. It's from the New York Post. So basically, what Warner Brothers said that this is not true.
Yes. So here we go. New York
But
Post.
At the same time, why? How does this information just come out of nowhere? That's why I'm still like,
Yes.
I think.
So here's the thing. Before we do, let me just read some comments here. We got Max saying, "I was so excited about a live action Harry Potter series."
I know you were, man. I know you love Harry Potter. Me too.
He says more Quidditch. Oh hell yeah! You want Quidditch? Hi peeps. Oh, Angelo.
Hola, baby.
How are you?
What's up?
That's still on the rumor mill stage. Exactly.
Exacto.
So here's the thing. That's, and I wanted to jump into rumor mill. How many rumors have we had lately this past year that have become reality?
Marvel. Sorry.
Marvel. We've talked about that. In fact, we've talked about Marvel. We've talked about Star Wars. We've talked about also certain things on Warner Brothers, and they have come to pass and they have announced it. Yep. So, hello.
Hey, Capella. ¿Qué la que hay? How are you? Welcome. Bienvenidos a todos y a todas.
100 from 1,000. That's great. But the 100 that have come true are the ones that have been mainstreamed, like the Spider-Man ones, like the series of Star Wars that were rumored, like with the ones with Ahsoka, the ones with all those. They actually came. The Charlie Cox one. Cox.
Aparece Angelo por ahí. Ya va por ahí.
But with this of Harry Potter, all right, this is another rumor, correct? So what is this keeping from it being reality? But Warner Brothers decided to throw it out there and see how people would react, and then they back up so that people can forget. And then later on in the future, they can have everybody by surprise. Boom! We got the project.
I was going to say, I think it could be the fact that maybe it got leaked out and it's too early, and Warner Bros. Is like, not yet. It is happening, but not yet. I have faith that it is happening because we were literally, guys. I'm not joking. John finished watching Game of Thrones, and we were talking with his boss about why, how if they had used the books on Game of Thrones, it would have been a better ending, etc. And then somehow we jumped into Harry Potter. Yeah, we threw it into the universe. Not like here, but we jumped to Harry Potter, and we were talking about how amazing it would be if HBO Max they redo Harry Potter, but then they use the books and then they have the series and all that. And then 2 days ago, this news comes out. So I have faith that this is true. I just think that it's way too early for Warner Brothers to be like, yeah, this is legit. I think they're too scared to confirm it now, but I think eventually it's going to surprise us in a way. So
yeah, and let me read some comments right here. I'm down for Harry Potter. Remember, a game is coming out too.
Yeah,
that's exactly right. It's actually
Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah, and I don't really don't know if I need another big wizard going evil. And I mean, that's the thing. We don't know because, again, it's in early stages. We don't know what exactly this Harry Potter or say Hogwarts type of story, because we don't know if it's a Harry Potter show. It could be just Hogwarts, or it could be the years before Harry Potter begins, or
like they did in the game, because I thought the game was going to be Harry Potter related, but this game is
like 500 years
before, and you are the wizard, so you get to make your character and go to Hogwarts, pick your house, etc. Or house is picked for you. Sorry, you don't pick your house.
Saying, there's a Harry Potter game coming out, technically a Hogwarts game coming out, and it is a hype builder as well. A lot of things happen with conversations like licenses, and we were talking about I think last time on TLU we were talking about Neil Druckmann and Last of Us and Supernatural.
There's an Easter egg in The Last of Us Part 2 with a letter.
There's an Easter egg. Yes, there's the Easter egg of Last of Us Part 2, the letter that was written down. Then I'm so happy, and I keep saying this. We actually got to it first before anybody else actually put it on the media.
In August, and it's on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
People started realizing this in November. I'm like, we found out first. it was there. So, it's exactly how things actually correlate, because as HBO is developing the Last of Us TV show, what's to stop Naughty Dog from actually developing Supernatural, which is a show that belongs to Warner Brothers in the CW channel, which the CW channel actually belongs to Warner Brothers, Enterprises Entertainment. That's where you got all the DC TV shows.
I was gonna say, do you think that maybe, because I just need the game, that's it. Everybody's talking, we're all talking about the game here. Do you think that maybe there is a possibility that they are waiting to see how the game does, and then that's going to be their green light to do a series on HBO? Because I feel that that might be the case. They want to see how the Harry Potter franchise works without Harry Potter, and then eventually be like, this is good. We can do a live action series based on Harry Potter. That's what I feel that's probably going to happen.
That is one of the best strategies that they could have, most definitely. And just before I jump into that, I would love a Wizard series with the other schools, how they were found. That is excellent. That is perfectly. That's like Game of Thrones is doing right now.
See, with like House of Dragon, which I want to see that one. I'm interested.
I mean, House of Dragons. You know what? Technically, no, because House of Dragons is actually following the same family. It's just 90 years prior.
Okay. See, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Other schools, yes, that's exactly what I'm doing.
But I was gonna say, bendición. Y happy birthday, ¿verdad?
Happy birthday.
Birthday to you. Hey.
It's their birthday, my sister.
It's their birthday. Happy birthday. Woo!
Happy birthday, Chuck Topper.
Yeah.
Y por ahí está Zoe. Zoe, que no está por ahí, Paola, but it's her birthday, so she doesn't have to be here if she doesn't want to.
Go, shorty. It's your birthday.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I mean, that could be, the new movies are not the best.
I haven't seen the new movies. Yeah. We have to get on that train to see it. Yeah. I haven't been completely interested.
Yeah, but you were saying?
Ay, bendito mis, yo creo que se me fue. Right. Que a mí se me olvida.
So, House of Dragons is the Fantastic Beasts of Harry Potter.
But I was going to say that there was a show that I used to see when I was a little kid. It was about a school of witches. If somebody has seen the show, please let me know in the comments. I don't remember the name, but I was obsessed with that show. And it was kind of Harry Potter-ish, but I'll look for it. I'll bring it next week. But I used to see that show a lot. Si alguien lo ha visto, pues put please in the comments.
The U.S. school. I found it so interesting in the mini story. We got to find that. We got to find the U.S. school because I have no idea what the heck is that. I've got the U.S. school. There's a U.S. school. Actually, let me see. Can you read the other comments, Ash, while I look at it?
Mira, Mag says the same thing. He says the story about the American wizardy discúlpeme, school is amazing. Cap Jack, they say maybe this is not related full, but also with all the Johnny Depp not being in the next Fantastic Beast, maybe they thought, let's make the fans happy again. That could be true. The worst witch. I think this is the show.
Okay. Here it is. Wow. Okay, wait a minute.
Yeah, so
Invermorny was founded. Was founded in 1627, 637 years after Hogwarts, and the school was originally just a rough shack containing 2 teachers and 2 students. Invermorny.
That you guys are saying this now. I saw a post, I want to say like maybe an hour before we went live on Instagram, and they were talking about if Harry Potter was Americanized, who they would cast.
What?
I did.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Oh my goodness.
And we got here, maybe this is not a related fool, but also with all the Johnny Depp. Oh, yeah, you read that.
I was like, what?
Sorry. The worst witch.
That's a show. Let me
see. Okay. Yes, my dear, that short story, I love it. Ilvermorny. It's Ilvermorny. Okay, here we go. When you have time to spare, read the full story on Potter on Potter more. Okay. Lo voy a
Yes.
buscar. Yes. So I'm going to look that up because what?
I'm looking. I found a picture of the show. Gracias, Matiel. I used to watch the show all the time, mano. It's so good. Espérate, voy por
You
ahí.
got it? Okay.
Yeah.
We found it. All right. In the meantime, Ilvermorny was originally a stone house constructed by Irish immigrants Isolt Sidon and her nomad husband James Stewart. Okay, so this is a lot. And it's very interesting because I even have pictures here of the humble beginnings as a shack. And it's like a farm, but like tiene unos pinos, it's like trees, like
I gotta look this up. Pero mira, this is the show
and
that
the
I was talking
sigils,
about.
Crests.
Mira,
sorry.
this one right here.
Oh.
I used to love the show. It is a British drama. I used to love the show, mano. It was fantastic. So
whoa,
yeah, great show. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out. It's
here, and I even found the Crests.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna put on the Crests real quick. Let me see if I can find them. Well, I found them. I just got to put them here. Let me see. All right, you guys see?
Oh,
these are the crests of the houses they have. Horned serpent, that's slithering, sometimes considered to be represent, yes, the mind of the witch of the wizard. It was also said that horned serpent favored scholars. Those are the houses. Wampus, sometimes considered to represent the body of the witch or wizard. It was also said that Wampus favors the warriors. Thunderbird, sometimes considered to represent the soul of the witch and wizard. It was also said that Thunderbird favored adventures. And Buckwheat, I don't know what the heck that is. Sometimes considered to represent the heart of the witch or wizard. It was also said that Buckwheat favored healers. So this is super cool because I think diantre, you know what? This might be more interesting than Harry Potter itself.
Yeah.
Okay, you know why? Because as I'm reading, this actually makes more sense that the houses have this representation down here that represents favors the scholars, the warriors, the adventurers, and the healers. Like now we know what. Maybe it's in detail in Harry Potter books, and I never read the books to actually know, but they have like it's like if you go in an adventure and you have to pick 4 characters, you have to pick each one of them that have a specific ability to actually make the strongest team. So it's really cool. It's really cool.
That would be really cool. Mira, I want to say that Angelo y Mag, you guys are right. I put the wrong picture. This was actually the show. Esta es la versión que we all saw. You guys are right. Es que me emocioné. I'm sorry. I got excited. I freaking love the show. I know. So this is the worst witch cast that we all saw. So ahí está.
Got it. All right.
Perdona, me emocioné.
Here we go. Spider Popo, we got him here. Saludos. I'm ready, working here, doing our thing, giving up some news. Harry Potter.
Exactly. Yep.
That's the new version. Oh yeah, that one you have seen must be the old one. Yeah, the one you have seen.
Yep. I'm sorry.
Yeah. This school has better system of choosing. Exactly. It made more sense. You see, when I was reading it, I was like, oh shoot. It makes more sense the way that they're choosing. The Ministry of Magic of U.S. is the new movies. Was chosen by the 4 houses. Mano, I'm excited. Yes, but one of the founders studied in Hogwarts, and that inspired her to make her own houses. Nice. Contra.
I like, mano.
That's the one. The founder didn't study in Hogwarts. She heard the story of the school. Okay, wait a minute. Okay.
Espérate.
Okay. The founders studied in Hogwarts, or they did not study in Hogwarts. Which one is it, Ty? No nos engañen aquí. They didn't use a hat. They did not use a hat. Okay. I think. But I think, mano, they didn't use a hat. And then I think it's like, come on, man.
¿Qué pasa?
Yeah, that's eso es para Angelo, ¿verdad?
Se puso fuerte, se puso fuerte.
Damn. All right.
Bueno, in other news.
Yes. All right. So, si tenemos más comentarios, if we got more comments about Harry Potter, just leave it right in the comments.
Just leave them. We'll go back to it.
And you seriously, guys, do you think this is really going to be happening? And
it is.
Do you think it's going to be Harry Potter remade into a TV show? We're going to see Harry Potter, Ron, Hermione, or are we going to see another story? Where is it before or after the Harry Potter events at Hogwarts? And before we jump, here we go. Angela Davis is right. Oh, okay. There we go. They have 4 statues and are circled in the middle. Then one of the statues turns on. That's how the houses choose. Oh, okay, here we go. And I always think what's the other story was a Wizard World.
Nice.
Yeah. There we go.
I want to say, primero que todo, tú sabes, thank you to everybody who is here with us having the conversation. Y thank you to everybody who is commenting, porque de verdad que you guys gave us. Yeah, you guys gave us information that we had no idea. So you guys are the freaking best.
Yeah. Así que, all right. So we're going to jump into the next news. And the last comment we're going to read about this in a moment, because we're going to jump all the way over here. And what we said isn't even the best part of the story. I hope not, because I love a lot of story and a great story. Or maybe they're kids. I already enjoy the Cursed Child book. Oh, that's true. No, you are the best. No, you are the best. Thank you.
You are the best. You are the best.
Yeah, we're never going to stop. When Siren turned 11 around. Okay, when Sire turned 11 around 1614, her Hogwarts acceptance letter arrived. However, her aunt refused to allow her to attend or to be obtained a wand, believing that teaching Sarah herself about magic would be better than risking sending her to a dangerously egalitarian establishment full of mudbloods. Well, she's a pure blood, I guess. That's why. So pure blood is some full wizards. Mudbloods, es que está full of people that are half wizards, have regular humans. So it's very interesting porque at the same time, si tú te fijas, when we see Harry Potter, there's no American wizard there. I never saw, unless you guys know, but I never saw an American wizard ever in Harry Potter in Hogwarts. So I'm guessing because they had that school made in the US, that's why we never had to see that. We never saw it. But this is freaking awesome. Like, thank you, Angelo, for saying that. It's freaking
the last thing that I just want to say is that if HBO Max really does a show based on this, I think it would be freaking interesting. Like I'm down. Okay, I had no idea. I read it. Yep.
This is that the aunt is ancestor of Voldemort and Gunt. A Gunt. Oh my God. Okay, let's jump into the next one because I'm gonna finish.
Bueno, the next news that I have. Take it away. I mean, it's news, but it's not kind of news. Ya ustedes saben. John Boyega strikes back again.
Strikes back again.
Exactly. Against Star Wars. By stating that Star Wars is like a luxury prison for its actors.
Oh boy, this guy.
So I'm just gonna, all I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna read the quote that he said. So basically he says, being in a big franchise, it's kind of a luxury jail sometimes for an actor when you want to do something else. Because remember, in a franchise, you're working on one character for many years, which can starve your other muscles. And in wanting to be in something where I knew that I'd play a different role, a different type of man, and then knowing Steve through, right? That's what it says? Yeah. We are all part of the same industry, so I heard about Steve's directing style, and I was really, really curious and excited to have the opportunity. This is a project that he is currently working on, that he kind of compares it to his whole Star Wars experience. So
Mm-hmm.
I think this is an interesting way to put it. In a way, I'm not defending John Boyega, but at the same time, Star Wars still has a lot of fans that are mad about the representation of the characters of Finn, Rose, Poe Dameron, etc. Because during Martin Luther King Day, I think Star Wars posted, or Lucasfilm posted, like a quote of Martin Luther King, and they got bashed on Twitter, saying that how are they tweeting that when their representation hasn't been the best. So
I know, man. Okay.
what do you guys think? What do you think, John? What do you guys think about this situation, this Star Wars situation? With this guy.
Here's the thing.
With this guy right here.
Before we jump in, that's the reason not need to travel when you have a great school on your land. That's about a Harry Potter in an American land. Here we go. And yeah, Angela, he doesn't have anything more to do. And this is John Boyega. Apparently not. It was a missed opportunity. Yes, it was. So here's the thing. One, Disney, what are you doing? I know you want to be, now the good guy in terms of, the type of race and all that representation. Just, it takes time. Do not force your spoon into everybody's mouth like that. No, it takes time. Two, it was a missed opportunity, like Magdiel said. It was a missed opportunity for this great character like Finn, Poe, and Poe, and Poe. You said and Poe. And Poe? Yeah. Oh, yeah, and because Poe. Of
the situation. Yes. What did you?
Sorry, I said Poe. Poe.
Dameron.
Finn and Poe Dameron. Yes, it was a waste of opportunity for those two characters. That's why The Mandalorian is actually one of the best things that ever happened to Star Wars, because even though there have been TV shows, they have not been live. So one of the best things also that happened to the second trilogy, which was, episode 1, 2, and 3, for the audience, was, Clone Wars. Was Star Wars Clone Wars. And Star Wars Clone Wars is amazing, guys. If you have not seen it, go and watch it. It gives you a better understanding of what's going on between episode 2, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith, the third movie. And it gives you a better understanding of everything, and it would have been awesome if all this would have been made live, but it's so much that it's clearly impossible, and it's so much money that it's huge. So even right now, it costs a lot of money to make The Mandalorian. So there's so much you can do, and they'll try to do it within time, because if they do attempt to make a complete huge CGI Star Wars humongous adventure live, they have to spend so much money that they have to backtrack certain production and stop certain production so that money could be spent there. But it's not like Disney, is missing money. Of course, like Disney is a freaking empire of entertainment. It's like the number one. So they would have a lot of money. But in terms of John Boyega, like, dude, it's been a while now. It's okay. Stop. We get it. Yeah. We are with you. It happened. It's done. And we were backing you up when all this was happening for sure. But move on, man. You don't have to work with Disney anymore.
You're very talented.
And you're extremely talented. Nobody's taking that away from you. And yes, it was a missed opportunity for the character that Finn played. That he played, that John Boyega played. He got pushed to the side in the second and third installment. And I'm with him in that. But what I'm not with him in is that he's still coming back to it. Now, the luxury prison, it makes a sense the way that he's saying it, but we don't know by firsthand the experience that he had. We just know what he's saying. We don't know his experience within what he was or what he was doing when he was, playing Finn in Star Wars. So that is another way where I have to say, like, you know what? It's still going on, and it's still sensitive to him. And we all got to move on, but he's the only one that went through that, and a couple more people that wouldn't know about it, and
but the thing about the John Boyega thing is that I think Oscar Isaac made a joke about it when he said, like, yeah, I'll come back to Star Wars if I need a house or something.
If I need a house.
Yeah, but then you have and he hasn't talked about it again. But then you have the Kelly Marie Tran who she got hated so badly for Rose, which that's not her fault. She is
That's
an
not her
actress.
fault at all.
But
It's like
now
the kid from Game of Thrones. Remember? The
Joffrey.
kid who played Joffrey.
Joffrey.
Everybody hated him, and he just started saying him hate mail, and he stopped acting because people who destroyed him outside of Game of Thrones. Like,
Yeah, because
guys,
people don't know. They don't know how to separate
fiction.
the actor from the character. Like
It's not
not the same person, and it's not the same person. You know what I'm saying? So,
Sorry, go ahead.
but her specifically, she had her situation with Star Wars, but she is the voice of Raja and the Last Dragon.
Yes.
So even though I can understand where John Boyega is coming from, at the same time, it's like, why keep talking about it?
Yeah.
I think that even though Disney and Lucasfilm, they still have a long way to go in terms of the representation in Star Wars. I think they're trying to make that happen. We've seen it in The Mandalorian. Like, the lead is a freaking Latino.
Yeah.
So they are trying to slowly start to incorporate more representation, more different types of people, more diversity. And this is something that
is Hispanic.
Yeah.
One of the most important characters.
This is something that is going to take, and you got Diego Luna too. So this is something that is they have to build it up. Like, you can't expect from de la noche a la mañana that it's this whole complex, diverse. Like, it takes time.
Yeah,
it takes time. And we're getting there. We're definitely getting there. So
yeah, I mean, and that's what you got to say. Like, even though as Spider Popo said here, the problem is Disney. Yes, at the beginning, the problem is Disney, but they're the ones that have to fix it, and they're doing it, at least from what we're seeing and how things are being portrayed in the films that they have released, in the casting choices. Like, I'm not saying always cast Hispanic and Black people. No, when it makes sense, you cast the white person, but also have diversity in the script. If the script doesn't entail it, then don't. It's just, you can't be forced to do something that doesn't make sense either. You have to do what makes sense and be fair at the same time. Like, don't be forced to do something that you don't have to at a particular moment. But in the luxury prison, sorry.
Go ahead.
Luxury prison comment that he made, I understand what he's saying, but if you think about this, how many movies did he did? 3. How many movies did Chris Evans did as Captain America? And I don't want to compare him to John Boyega too much, because of course the color of his skin or whatnot, and a prison. But what he's saying in particular, that he couldn't do much projects because of it, and he was being typecast, and he forgot who he was as an actor in terms of his range of abilities. Chris Evans, while he was playing Captain America, he still did other projects. Robert Downey Jr. only did probably 1 or 2, but still they had the open availability to actually try and do that in a certain amount of time. If they couldn't, of course they're going to stay with the big project, with the big buck, with the big purse. And that's part of it. So, it really is. Yes, you dedicate yourself to what, 3-4 years of your life to that project, and you're done. If you have time, you do it. So it's just so many things that happens, but yeah.
And I feel that it's a complicated situation because, again, we're not defending anybody. We're not justifying what happened, but at the same time, we weren't there. So we can't be like, it's always going to be the he said, she said type of thing with this whole Disney and Star Wars and with its actors. So it's a complicated situation. It also reminds me of when the guy who played Aladdin, Mina Masood, when he came out and he said that after Aladdin, he hasn't gotten any auditions.
Yeah, that's shocking. Yeah. And there was a show that he did on Hulu that was fantastic.
Reprisal. It was great. He was great in that show. Yeah, he was way better in that show than in Aladdin. So
yes, I'm really hoping that a second season comes out, and there's supposed to be a second season, but I have no idea what's going on with that. But Spider said they're trying to protect the kids, but they have to change their mind and produce like they did with Pirates of the Caribbean. I am not sure. I'm not quite sure what you're trying to say with that. I kind of do you get what he's
Because remember, I think what Spider Popo is trying to say is that Pirates of the Caribbean was the first movie that was rated PG-13, and that was a scandal for Disney.
Oh, okay, I see. All right, yes.
I think that's what he means. Let us know, Spider Popo, if that's what you mean with this comment.
Okay.
But,
John Boyega and Robert De Niro in Netflix, The Formula.
A new movie, yeah.
A new movie that's coming out.
He's working a lot. Like he's currently shooting. I know, Angelo. Yeah. Angelo siempre que John Boyega como que okay.
Oh, Dios mío, I get you, man. Te entiendo. Trust me. Siempre. You can't compare them either on talent.
Look. That's true. If you mean John Boyega and Mina Masood, I agree with that, because I think John Boyega is by far a superior actor, you know.
Yeah, so. And if you mean Chris Evans and John Boyega, honestly, to be honest, in my opinion, I think Chris Evans has a range of characters that he can play, because he's already played like the comedic character, like in Fantastic Four and in other films. He's played the hot rod young actor of the sorority. He's played the dramatic character where he's trying to save the girl, like in I think it was Cell or Call. I think it was that he had to. I think he had a phone call, and it was Jason Statham was in the movie, so he just picked a random phone for some number. I forgot what it was, and he was just out. And on the phone, it's a woman speaking to him that she is. She's been what do you call it in English? Jeez, secuestrada. She's been abducted, and she's in a house, in an abandoned place, and he ignores him at the first time. He ignores her, and then she keeps calling. So the premise of the movie is like she's trying to get this person to save them and make them believe, like, yes, I'm in prison, I'm kidnapped. Yes, kidnapped. Thank you.
I don't think I've seen this film.
Yes,
but on that comment too, both Chris Evans and John Boyega, they are both primarily theater actors too. That's something to have in mind. Like I feel that Disney has gotten actors for Star Wars and Avengers that have been primarily theater actors, because Oscar Isaac is a theater actor first and foremost, y Pedro Pascal too. They have a lengthy theater career, and that's something to think about in terms of comparing them with talent. I think they're both talented.
Yeah, and Angelo says here he's crying wolf. He didn't like what happened to his character, and now he's bashing Star Wars. And that's where I draw the line a little bit, because yes, I understand, and that's a mistake that they cannot fix because it's done. But move on. Like, you have a career ahead of you, bro. Like, continue. You can be in other franchises. You can make more movies, and you have the green light. Like, nobody's even trying to put you down anymore. Everybody's trying to actually work with you.
Yeah.
Kat says it might be a prison if you still under their contract, but if it's not, he can go as he please.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. And you can still work with Disney however you want in other projects, and then fix what was wrong with Star Wars. You can still work with Disney, just like the girl that you just mentioned, that got bashed because her characters was faulty with the storyline. What was her name? I forgot.
Kelly Marie Tran.
Kelly Marie Tran, yeah. So, and Angelo said he meant Evans. Kidnap, that's the word. Yes. Magdalene says she has a broken telephone, and the only thing she can do is call a random number, and it was Evans' character number.
I haven't seen this film.
Celular in 2004. Yeah, it was before he was Captain America, like five years before he was Captain America. I think 5 years, because Iron Man came in 2007. So yeah, or 2007. So he did Captain America like in 2008 or so, something like that. Yeah. Heck, do a Star Trek.
That would be funny.
Yeah. That would be funny. And Oscar has another project with them. Daisy even works amazing projects even when doing Star Wars. Kelly on any he shot in his foot.
Yeah. But I heard that Daisy Ridley also she she hasn't gotten any work after Star Wars. And apparently, I heard that she was blacklisted in Hollywood first, and then second, I heard that they are considering her for Spider-Woman, but Disney doesn't want to cast her in that role because of her Star Wars backstory, I think, for her history. Because they think that people aren't going to connect with her because she was in Star Wars. So I think it's between her and Naomi Scott.
Naomi Scott, yeah. Cap was in 2011. See? Like 6 years, almost 7 years after.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right, so we're just gonna move on to the next news, because if not, we're gonna stay here all night. Yes. Speaking of this, it's very interesting, honestly. But thank you guys for being part of it. Thank you guys for getting your opinion. It's fantastic. But right now, we're gonna do a spotlight of the week.
What up? No, sorry.
Whoop. Oh wait, wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, where is the thing?
No.
Where's
the
the
what?
All right, so wait. Spot. Do we scroll it? Do we scroll it on like this, or should we leave it on the big screen?
However you want. I don't know. I have a picture too, so
all right, so
you gotta take out the John Boyega thing too.
Okay, so here we go. Boom! Spotlight of the week: Outside the Wire.
Wepria.
Woo!
I love this film. We saw this yesterday, right?
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
Definitely did. This movie was a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
It was a freaking surprise. Mackie in this film was great.
He's incredible. Oh my god.
Yes. Ash, can you give a little premise to what this movie is about?
Yes. So basically, this is a type of action, sci-fi, and fantasy film, and it takes place in the near future, where it tells the story of a drone pilot that is sent into a war zone as he finds himself paired up with a top secret android who is played by Anthony Mackie to stop a nuclear attack. And that's the best way that I can put it for you guys, because this film, this film is, it's a great action movie. I enjoyed it a lot. I would put it under the same category as Extraction, which was a great action film as well. Anthony Mackie,
a little bit higher, I would say.
Yeah, Anthony Mackie kills it in this film. He plays Leo. He is incredible. And if you guys are fans of Terminator, you guys will see kind of similarities in the premise. Yeah. The only difference is that I think it's more incorporated into modern times, you know, with what's happening. But I really like this film. It's a good action movie. And you know, sometimes you don't want to find things that are so serious and you just want to watch a great action movie. It's on Netflix, so this is our spotlight of the week because we really like this film. Thank you to Mami y Papi, who told us that we had to see this film because my mom said that it reminded her of Cyberpunk 2077, and it does have elements as well from Cyberpunk 2077, but not
an element, but not like crazy.
Not as much as Terminator, though.
I would say it's more close to Terminator what it is. And it says it wasn't that because of COVID, because she was a chaos walking.
Okay, chaos walking.
Yeah,
delayed.
Yeah,
delayed.
And Max says I don't like it. Better than expected, though.
Oops.
This is Mackie doing a Samuel Jackson impression. An extraordinary film.
Mama.
Damon Idris is good.
He was really good.
Cross between Terminator and RoboCop, but in the military settings.
That's perfect.
Exactly. Yes. Yep. You know, I respect the fact that, you know, not everybody's gonna like it, not everybody loves it, not everybody hates it. That's the point. But the reason why I really like the movie is because I wanted to see Anthony Mackie in something outside of Marvel, and there's a bunch of stuff that he has probably done already. And I've seen, you know, clips here and there of different films that he has done. Still, he is within a military type of situation, which in, you know, Marvel Universe, he was actually in the military as well, in the Air Force, but he was in the special units of the Falcon Project, which that's why he is the Falcon with the wings and all that. But I did enjoy this movie. Because it was a breath of fresh air. And I think it's because I haven't been paying attention or watching too much of the military side of movies. But in a way, like Max said, it was a crossover between Terminator and RoboCop. That's literally what it was. When I was watching, I told Ash, this is Terminator right here. And pretty much Anthony Mackie's character is Skynet. Anthony Mackie's...
you spoiled it.
Wait.
Mi gente, like I try to not spoil, pero pues. If you guys haven't seen the film, whoopsie daisy. Ese es el twist, loco, que tú sabes.
Nobody heard that if you haven't seen this movie.
Everybody heard it.
It is fantastic. So we got in this movie, okay, I'll just say this. In this movie, we got Skynet, and in this movie, we got Sarah Connor. Kyle Reese. No, more Kyle. I don't know.
I was going to say, I don't know what you're saying. Ya, se trabó porque está asustado.
I'm just going to say, guys, watch this movie. Yeah. It is great. It's a very enjoyable film. I don't think the dialogue in this movie was boring at all. I enjoyed it. There was a lot of moments where, you know, I believe this is this actor's first, what was his name, Ash? I've completely forgot the actor's name. The protagonist. It's not Anthony Mackie.
No. I think it's Damon Idris.
Damon Idris?
Sorry. Sí. Damson Idris.
Oh, Damon Idris. Or Damon Idris. Oh,
Damson. Damson.
Damon Idris.
It's Damson.
Damson? Oh, it's Damson. Yes. Damson Idris. I enjoyed it. You know, he for his first film, me watching him, he was good. He was okay.
I think he's done other stuff, but I think this might be. This is the first. Yeah, I think this is the first time. Oh, he's from London. Okay. I like actors from London. I think they're very talented.
Yes. So,
but I think this was his big movie.
I believe the big movie,
because I hadn't seen him anywhere else, so I enjoyed his performance.
It starts with Sarah Connor from Terminator 1, and the character ends up as Sarah Connor from Terminator 2. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's exactly correct.
Man sabe explicar las cosas.
I want to really talk about it, but Dios mío, Ash, really? We can't?
Bueno, if you guys don't mind spoilers and you want to see this film, then, I mean, you can. No?
I mean, this is what I'm going to say. It is exactly as one of the comments saying, MacDiel here, Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 put together, and it's to protect humanity or end it.
Yep.
But there's a different way that it's been approached. Instead of a thing coming back through time, it's a very different way that it's being approached. And it's like watching the opposite of what's happened, or like on another situation. Instead of watching Terminator movie, it's like what's happening on the other side of the same world as Terminator. What's happening in this corner of the world? Or how is it going about? Like, who's there? So you would think this movie is kind of like that. But if I had to choose between the newest Terminator movies, like from after 3 and this one, I would pick this one to be part of that Terminator universe.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say I would pick this one rather than, because I actually like the last one that came out from the Terminator.
The last one was really good.
Really good.
The last one was really good, but I would, if I had the choice to put this one and make it part of the universe as an alternative universe, this one would be really cool. This should have been the Genesis, way better, because Genesis was like another way of making Skynet or Sarah Connor be alive. So I'm like,
Jesus.
no, use this one. This is the one.
Y se montaron en caballito de que we have Emilia Clarke, guys. Y es como que, okay, cool. Cool.
And
story, bro.
I like Salvation and Dark Fate.
Me too. No, I don't know why people. I mean, I know why people hate it, but that's like a whole different topic.
Like Dark Fate. It's just.
Pero a mí me sorprendió. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Salvation también.
I liked it. Salvation, mi favorita. My favorite thing was the fight scene between John Connor and the Terminator when he was watching him. I would have liked a little bit. I mean, it was done correctly, but I would like a little bit more connection there. Even though he knows the Terminator doesn't recognize him at all. It's just about to kill him. And then he says, Genesis tried to be 3 movies at once. Oh, yeah.
Sí. Yeah.
Judgment Day y ya.
Okay. Se formó. Hoy están activaditos hoy.
Got it. All right, so that is it for The Wire. Now, we're going to talk about something that...
The Wire.
Yeah, that's it for The Wire, for Outside the Wire. So that's it for this. Now we're going to talk about one thing that we are always expecting every Friday, and there's a lot of controversy with this show. I don't understand why. And I mean, I know why, but it's stupid. But here we go. Review of episode 3 of WandaVision.
Mira, that's exactly how I felt watching this episode.
Oh my gosh. I freaking love this show.
It's freaking great. The show is great.
I'm going to let you start off the review, Ash.
Mira, so in this episode 3 of WandaVision, we see that Wanda is pregnant. Oh, there's going to be spoilers here. So if you guys haven't watched WandaVision, which I think most of the chat here is up to date, hopefully, we are going to spoil it.
Every Friday, guys. What the heck is going on?
We are going to spoil this. But again, like I've said before, there was people that did not watch The Mandalorian. They waited until it was on Disney Plus, all episodes, and then they decided to watch it. So I was like, okay, you do you. But mira, this episode, we see that Wanda is pregnant. She gives birth to her twins. And then we finally see kind of the reality, the real world towards the end of the episode. I have to say, if I were to give any general notes about the episode, I think that so far it's my favorite because there is a great scene towards the end with Wanda and Geraldine, aka Monica Rambeau.
The next Marvel. Captain Marvel. Yes, the next Captain Marvel.
If you guys didn't know, I loved that scene, especially when she mentions Pietro and Ultron. It was a mix of, I loved the interaction between them. I thought it was a great scene that had amazing tension. But for me, it's Elizabeth Olsen's acting. How she shifts, and you're just like, oh my God, Wanda is here.
I seriously get a lot of chills every time she switches, or every time something happens outside of that TV world that she's in. I start getting goosebumps, cold spots, like a fear for me to know the truth, because I feel like I'm living in the same illusion that they're living in. Especially, I feel like Vision is the one that has no freaking idea exactly what the heck is going on.
No, I heard, and this is something that I think we discussed, but I did hear that there is a theory that apparently the Vision that we see is dead. So she's apparently using Vision's body to kind of mimic everything that they're doing right now. So I think that if that theory comes out to be true, I think it's going to be very dark for Disney, but I love it because, you know, I love when Disney like does things that I'm not expecting.
It's like you said at one point that if all this that we're talking about is true, this show is actually cruel.
The show is really sad when you see it from a perspective of mental illness, for example, and people not accepting the realities that they're in. It's a very effed up show.
And I love it because it shows exactly the repercussion of her losing Vision, of her desire of the only person that would have been her counterpart, you know, sharing her life with is Vision. Could you imagine that she's actually, like I said before, Wanda, for those who don't know, Wanda actually has a lot of power and immense power. She can warp reality. She can create her own reality. She can actually reanimate corpses. Like she can bring people back to life. So this is why we're probably seeing Vision right now. And that's what I don't know. That's what I think. That's why I think we don't know. And I think we might have missed it, or I might have missed it. But I think Vision doesn't even remember him beating Thanos, or not getting snapped, or I don't think he remembers any of that. So that's something that we're actually going to try and figure out later on in the show. And not to trump off as you're continuing to explain your side on the show, but
no, you can jump in. You can jump in.
So yeah, and it's scary. It's scary and it's amazing because when we watch the show, we expect this googly comedy, gullible, and all this because of how she's living in that world. But every time we see those moments where it sucks out the air in the room, it's like, what's going on? Like,
the show is
because I know for a fact how powerful she is, and this might be the moment that Marvel has chosen to actually put her there in the position that she is of power. And as we see close to when Vision goes outside, and here's what was confusing, but then I'm like, oh my goodness, what the fuck is going on? Is when Vision went to get the doctor, he ran fast, and the doctor acknowledged it. He was going fast.
And he lied about essentially going on vacation. He was never going on a vacation because they can't get out.
Exactly. It's the Truman Show. So who knows who's telling the truth and who's not? But I know for a fact that Vision doesn't understand what's going on. But at the same time, he ran fast and he accepted the fact that the doctor would see him at full speed and superhuman, still wearing his natural hair. But then the doctor accepted, okay, this just happened, but I'm going to ignore it. And then when he goes outside and talks to the neighbor, the two neighbors, they're talking in secrecy like, we're trapped. Like, what's going on? We don't know what they're talking about. And Vision is starting to catch up. So at the same time, it's so confusing where I believe when Wanda is paying attention, she's actually taking control of the reality. But when she's weak, reality starts to get out of hand and starts to for itself. And that's when we see the out of whack Vision, when he starts to get curious, when he runs, and the doctor actually notices it, but he just ignores it. So it's kind of weird, but it's like it's what you call a mind fuck.
Yeah,
this is what that is.
But I love it. I've loved every episode, and I really do think that after this one, things are just going to get weirder and weirder, and we're going to start transitioning out of the whole, sitcom comedy trope that they have and start getting into the real world. It is a tragedy, mano. It's such a it's like the Pixar movie, like Soul. It's such an interesting, ¿cómo se dice? Depiction of mental illness and depression and not accepting your reality and then being stuck in your head, because most of us have our days donde estamos durmiendo en las pajas, como dicen, like they say in Puerto Rico, o pensando en los pajaritos preñados, como decía mi mamá. And we're having these scenarios and thoughts in our head, y nos vamos en un viaje. So I think it's a great depiction of it, and I think it's a great show to study. And this show is the master of shifting tones. Like, you can be, it's a comedy a second, and as soon as somebody questions Wanda or Wanda realizes that something is wrong, the tone has such an incredible shift that makes you just start panicking. Because you are feeling the same thing that Wanda is feeling. You don't know what the F is going on.
Yeah.
So I love the show, man. I love it.
Yeah, I think that this episode made clear that there's someone someone is in control, of this reality too. Like someone else is also controlling this reality. And I
Mhm.
do believe that. And I do believe that I think still to this day that Hydra has to do something with it. I know that Sword, the other association, Sword is also, taking control of certain things.
Mhm.
So it could be that Hydra, in a sense, is in her reality because that's what she grew up with Hydra. So it
Mhm.
might not be Hydra, and it just might be just Sword. But then there might be somebody from Hydra taking control of her reality or being part of that reality as well. So I know that they have to be involved somehow. But yes, that is so true. Maybe she makes a pact with Mephisto. Mephisto.
I think Angelo threw that
Yeah.
in one of our lives as well.
Yeah.
And Angelo, he's like a pro in comics, so tú sabes.
Yeah. I think
He knows what
that.
he's talking about.
And I think Mephisto is actually something that you can throw in there because, again, they already said that um, uh, uh, the multiverse of madness from Doctor Strange is going to be part and following up WandaVision. And I'm going to look a photo for those who don't know who Mephisto is. Let me put it at Mephisto.
I'm gonna show the other comments. So
Mhm.
Angelo says here, maybe they are all sentient weapons. Maybe that town has Agatha Harkness, Dr. Druid, Grim Reaper, Arcana, and Kalia. I agree with the Agatha thing because, and John, I think you posed this question when we did the review of episodes 1 and 2. I think they're trying to make her not seem important, but I think she might be one of the main culprits in what's happening with Wanda and what's happening in the show.
Mhm.
Just because of that scene with when she was discussing with the neighbor and then the neighbor was trying to like break the wall. Do you remember that?
Yeah, yeah, and I think, I think so too. It's just hard to say when he's just drilling and sawing the wall. Yes, something is wrong. Something
Mhm.
is definitely wrong, and all these theories are great. I'm just so
Mhm.
excited for this show. This show
Yeah.
is amazing, and it gives us a lot to think about. And I appreciate a lot of the secrecy that this show has, so that
Mhm.
it can keep us engaged on every single episode. But here, for those who don't know, this is Mephisto. He's
Ooh.
inspired by Mephistopheles, and
Mira, you see her?
he's pretty much the devil.
Do you
He's
see
pretty much
that
the devil.
picture?
Sorry, let me go over there. Where?
Agatha
This
is in that picture. Do you not see her?
here, this
Hey.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's what I read that she's one of the main culprits because of that. So,
yeah, and for those who don't know, Mephisto, he's actually in the movies Ghost Rider, the Nicolas Cage ones. He's in the first one. If you guys didn't see it, or if you guys saw it, he's in the in the first one. But I think that's part of it too. And if they try and make this part of that universe as well, it's gonna be amazing. There's so much that they can do, man. There's a
oh
lot.
yes, man. Marvel is gunning for the big leagues, man. Like they are unstoppable. It's gonna be this, and then Anthony Mackie show with Sebastian Stan, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Then
Mhm.
it's gonna be Doctor Strange, Spider-Man 3, She-Hulk. There's just an array of things that it's coming to Disney Plus and Disney, and it's all gonna be connected, and it's gonna be mind blowing. It's gonna be like the new phase of the Avengers per se. So I
And Angela says the idea that Wanda is one changing things seems too predictable for me. Honestly, I understand where you're coming from, but I think it's the how you said it earlier. I think somebody else is doing this with her, and she doesn't even know about it. But
Mhm.
I guess the more thriving plot would be that it's not her manipulating this reality. But if it is her, then we know that she's broken. We know that. Oh, sorry. We know that she's broken. We know that she can't handle being without vision. So it kind of also puts us in that place. So yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Mephisto is the one that makes it possible that Wanda has sons in the comic run. Yes,
Nice.
that is also true. But we've seen her literally change things. I do think she is in control, but she is controlling some part because can't accept the reality. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I think that it's kind of both of what Angelo said, and more so Wanda's still there because of what she said no. And everything went like rewind, and she can still manipulate the reality around her as we've seen in the show. So I think it's a contribution of two things, but it's more psychological, where she understands what she can control, but somebody's overthrowing her in a majority of that reality. I do think she is not in full control. Exactly. Mephisto is like Rumpelstiltskin. He is always doing deals, so it's not far fetched. Yeah,
Nice.
just like in Supernatural, Crowley, he's always doing.
I was gonna say that he said Rumpelstiltskin, and I was thinking about Once Upon a Time.
Once Upon a Time, it was a Little Red Riding Hood. What I meant is that the scene in the vision, like something happening with the video, and then it repeats the same thing. Yeah. So it's
everything. Hey,
bendición.
Yeah. I mean, it poses so many interesting questions. I think that's what I love about the show, that every week we can come here and have a discussion. And I think it's one of the reasons why I love Disney Plus so much, because The Mandalorian was the same thing. Every week we were discussing and throwing out theories, and then WandaVision is no different. And I think that any of the shows in the Marvel universe, it's going to be, different. So I like this episode. So far, WandaVision has been one of my favorite things to watch, just because of the fact that, and I said this on our previous review, it's something different that Marvel is doing. Like, they're having the guts to pull this off, and I think it's working. I know that a lot of people, or some people, won't understand it fully because they already expect something from Marvel, but in my case, I already knew the formula that they had. And I wanted something different. And this WandaVision is giving me that. And it's setting up the blueprint for everything else in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the multiverse. So I'm enjoying the show. Every Friday we look forward to it. And I think now we're gonna start waking up early so we can see it early in the morning.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that.
Because now we go live on Friday, so we need to know what's up. We need to know what's up with the show.
So this is gonna be it for the review and the movie and TV universe. Now we're gonna jump to the gaming universe. We got two news here to share with you guys, and this will be the last universe that we have. Then we're going to jump to throw it into the universe, everybody's favorite section, so that they can, do their wishful thinkings of every single thing. But before we jump, we just want to read one more comment, or a couple more comments here. Where we go? Wait, I jumped. I believe she will be broken when Mephisto takes her sons. That's the last straw for her. That could be the last straw, like it was for Khaleesi, where she went crazy. Dad said, Dios bendiga, aún estoy trabajando, diablo, bye. Fin de semana, fin de mes, eso está horrible.
Yeah.
Pietro will be on episode 4. I'm so sure after episode 3.
I gotta say that, oh my god, when she said Pietro and then Ultron, I was like, it was that moment of like, oh no, I get that. That's how I felt. So yeah,
for sure. No, this is why I freaking love this show, man. It's a bag of surprises and all that kind of stuff. But we got here. Lastly, also, this is after an Endgame. Maybe she was a little traumatized with Vision's death. Of course, yes. That she's somehow captive, and she has created a world in her head to escape this pain while being imprisoned somewhere.
That's what I was thinking when you remember when I saw the first episode, we were laughing, and but then all of a sudden I was like, she's not accepting her reality. This is not fun anymore. Like it completely shifted for me. I was laughing, and then I was like, oh my god, this is this is tragic, bro. Like, this is sad. This is not cool.
And like, that's why I love the show again. And lastly, that's why I love the show, because this show is showing things that Marvel didn't do before. It's going very traumatizing, very psychological. And those who don't see it that way, man, you got to really pay attention, because this is sad. Like, you might be watching it because, oh, they're superheroes, but bro, there's more to it than the show. This is why this show,
more
I don't
than
think
meets the eye.
Yeah, this show is not for kids. Not like it's
I mean,
like
it could be, but kids won't.
Not like it's horrifying or anything. It's because kids won't understand exactly what superhero-ish thing is happening. It's not about that. The only ones that can understand the show is the ones that have seen the previous 22 movies, or at least just how Disney has promoted the movies in Disney Plus, which was Age of Ultron, Civil War. I think it was Endgame. Endgame. If you see those 4 movies, then you'll understand what's going on here. So that's how they are actually promoting it in Disney Plus, for that same reason. And here we got, and lastly, the thing is, how is S.W.O.R.D. seeing her own mind? They must have a chip in her. I believe she was a S.W.O.R.D. agent prior to this. We'll see.
Nice.
True. It's very intense.
Yes. It is.
So let's jump into gaming, guys. Let's jump into gaming. And you know what? I'm going to give this one to Ash, because Ash actually found this news. I'll explain later on what the heck. But here we go. Take it away, Ash.
Yeah. So I heard that Kevin Hart and Cate Blanchett are set to star in a Borderlands film. This is an adaptation of the popular video game. Hart is going to play Roland, a skilled ex-soldier turned mercenary in the Lionsgate film. And wow, Eli Roth, who is a famous, well-known horror director. He is directing this film. So I haven't played Borderlands, so I don't know what the game is about, the stories, etc. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Kevin Hart. John knows this. I'm not a fan of Kevin Hart. So
finds him a little arrogant.
A little.
A little arrogant.
A little. So but, I don't know what to think about this news. I don't know if there are any Borderlands fans here in the chat. How do you guys feel? Do you feel that it's necessary for this video game to be adapted? I don't know.
I have no idea. And those who have played Borderlands, it's just Borderlands is pretty much a crazy, like Mad Max type of different future game, where you do all this kind of craziness. And I don't think much people liked actually Borderlands 3. And again, it's just like a Mad Max type of world. Excuse me. And Kevin Hart and Cate Blanchett doing it. That this game needs to be made into a movie. It's like what we were talking about. I think Angelo was also saying this in his stream. About the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, origin story with either Tom Holland or the other guy that looks like Tim Burton.
Timothy Chalamet. That's his name.
Yeah. It's just like that. It's like, who wants it, who needs it, or why not? Why not? If you can make money out of it, make it. If you don't lose anything with it, that's fine. But the reality of this, making Borderlands into a movie, it only will appeal probably to the gamers and not too much to the general audience, because Borderlands, I don't see it in a movie. I see it in a video game. It's very enjoyable in a video game. It's chaotic as a video game. That's where it should be. It's not like Metal Gear Solid, where it could have a solid story. And there's a reason why it has like more than 5, 6, 7 games, but it upholds one big ass storyline. It would be fantastic. But Borderlands,
you know what? Oh, I agree with Angelo. Okay, that's the problem. My problem with these adaptations is the
They
fact
don't.
that they don't have a good story. Most of them don't have a good story. It's very rare that something gets adapted, has a great cast and a great story to go along with it. And I'm very picky with stories, and John knows this because there's a lot of movies where people are like, oh, it was like I was a huge fan of the Transformers franchise, specifically the first one. It's not a perfect film, but I felt that it had a good story and it went along with, the Transformers universe, etc. Then I was so hyped for the second one. The second one came around. The story was awful. And I remember I would have so many discussions with people saying like, why do you like this film? They're like, oh, it had action and that's it. And I'm just like, okay, but it doesn't have a good story for me. So I'm suffering throughout the film. And I hated the second one of Transformers. I went to see the third one to see if Michael Bay did something different. I didn't like it. We went to see the fourth one with Mark Wahlberg. I didn't like that one either. So it's kind of a complicated situation. And I think that the point that Angelo brings is very important because I think it's a quality that a lot of people miss nowadays. Basically, they're adapting the project because it's based on a video game or it's a popular franchise, etc. The only thing I would say is that I know Eli Roth for being a horror director. He's made some pretty gruesome short films and some pretty horrible, disgusting horror films. So I'm interested to see. Yeah, that's what I mean. You can add a good story to the characters. I'm interested to see what he's gonna do with this film.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that I would say. Kate Blanchett, I wouldn't say I'm surprised to see her in this film because probably her kids are fans of this too. Because if you guys didn't know, the only reason that she did Thor Ragnarok was because her children love Marvel so much. That's why she did this film. So there's a possibility that she is doing this again for her children. I don't see any information on her character, and apparently the plot of the film has been kept very under wraps. So I don't know what to expect because personally I haven't played Borderlands, but any adaptation that comes through, all I'm hoping for is a good story that goes along with the characters and makes it interesting for me. And that's why I feel that Metal Gear is going to be a great film because Hideo Kojima he doesn't want to make a bad movie. He's been taking years because he wants the script to be perfect, casting, etc. And I would prefer to wait a bunch of years and that it would be a perfect adaptation rather than to have it rushed. And because I'm going to mention this, but yesterday I saw Dragon Ball Evolution. Listen. No. Wait. Listen. You know why I saw it? Listen. You know why I saw it? Because I had heard so many bad things about this film.
I told her to watch it and see how much you laughed.
Yeah, I found it on Hulu, and I told John I need to see this film because I need to understand why is it bad. And I don't know a lot about Dragon Ball Z. John is a super fan. And that film is terrible. I think that's a perfect example. I think it's a perfect example of how not to adapt a popular franchise or
Yeah,
Hey, it made me laugh it made me laugh so much. So thank you, Dragon Ball Evolution, for being so shitty because I was dying. John was suffering and I was just like cracking up at everything. I thought it was hilarious.
Whoever says no, something's wrong with you. But this was an adaptation of the most famous anime in the world, Dragon Ball Z. And when Ashley saw this, and I told her, look at this shit. It was like, who the fuck had the idea to do this like this? You should have waited till like 2025 or 2030 to actually create
the movie was so bad that the freaking creator of Dragon Ball was like, fuck this shit. I'm making a whole new show.
And then Dragon Ball Super came out because of that movie. And it's like, we got more Dragon Ball because of that shitty Dragon Ball.
Yo.
It's like, it was insane. And then I'm going to read some comments here real quick. let's say that's what I. Okay, yeah, we read that.
Mhm.
You don't need the story of the game. Yeah, definitely not. Please, no adaptation of the story. Create a story for the game.
Sí, pero que no sea un Resident Evil. I said it. I don't care.
I hope the new Resident Evil movies are actually really good. And there's a show in the movie, so we'll see about that. I know Eli Roth for Inglourious Bastards. Yes.
So he has Mag. I don't know if you've seen it, but he did a short film called Thanksgiving, and it's the most disgusting thing I have ever seen. I would suggest you Google that. It's pretty gross.
You probably see it, but yeah. Surprisingly, I like Need for Speed movie adaptation.
I liked it too. I thought it was stupid, actually, but I liked it. You know what? It was really stupid.
I loved Need for Speed. I loved the first Mortal Kombat movie for what it was. I loved the the YouTube series of Mortal Kombat. YouTube series of Mortal Kombat. And I'm actually going to put that in a question right now. If you can be so kind, Ash, to continue reading the comments, I'm going to actually put that into a question right now.
Mag says, Ash, we have to talk about Dragon Ball Evolution. Let's talk about it, man. It came out of curiosity. I had seen so many videos, so many people hating on this film, and I was like, I saw it on Hulu, and I said, I need to see this film to understand. And I laughed a lot. Cap Jack says, oh no, mira, I survived. I survived. John, I wish I would have recorded John because I felt that in certain scenes he was about to cry. He was this close to crying.
The logo, yes.
Mag says, Dragon Ball Evolution has potential, but it was horrible from the script to the credit. I agree. I don't know if you would agree with me, Mag, but I think the only actor in that film that was really trying was Emmy Rossum.
Yes.
She was being an actress before everything. She's like, you know what? I know the script sucks, but I'm trying to do my best.
It was horrible from the beginning.
And Piccolo también. I liked him. I liked how he looked. Dragon Ball Super Morals arc was really good.
And look, my favorite
on the Thanksgiving thing, right?
On the Thanksgiving, I think. Again, it was part of the movie Grimhouse. Yes. Piccolo.
He looked good. Piccolo
looked good in that movie. It's just, bro, el Kamehameha, bien ridículo. Like, what the fuck? The gi was kind of like good and bad at the same. The gi looked good from the top, and it looked bad at the bottom. And I was like, no.
What was the name of the monkey? Osara. Something like that.
I'm like, Osara, who the fuck? Who the fuck is that guy?
You know what I hated the most about this?
Yo, the ape was the same size as me. It's like, have you seen Dragon Ball? That freaking ape is the
espérate. I gotta say something.
The Eiffel Tower, bro.
I wish you guys would have seen my reaction when the freaking dragon came out. I was like, what the hell? That's the smallest dragon ever! Yeah, the dragon was like this small. Man. I was like, what the fuck?
It's fucking bullshit. This dragon, man.
And I hate the fact. What I hate about Dragon Ball Evolution.
Hell no.
What I hate the most about Dragon Ball Evolution was the fact that Goku would do what he needed to do because he wanted to
have sex with Chi-Chi.
With Chi-Chi. I was like,
to be with you. And Goku is the complete opposite in the anime. Goku doesn't care about women like that.
John showed me a clip when they John showed me the clip when Goku meets Chi-Chi for the first time and he kicks her in her vagina and he was like, oh good, I thought you were a boy.
Oh, okay, so that confirmed that you're a girl. And she pushes him off the cloud. Like, oh! And because he hit him in the chochis, she fell in love with him. I'm like,
he fell in love. She was like, woo, yeah, I'm gonna marry this guy.
Oh, Dragon Ball is so good and it's so hilarious. And Dragon Ball Evolution made me think that this was the only thing and I was going to be living a nightmare. And thank you to the creator for making Dragon Ball Super, which brought me back into something new. Because I would have been left with a sour taste of Dragon Ball because it would have been the last thing for me to see that was new from Dragon Ball up until Dragon Ball Super. And Dragon Ball Super is fantastic, in my opinion. It's great. And there's a lot of arcs that happen, but Romano, la última pelea between between Jiren, Goku, and Frieza, ese último episodio, woof, Se me pararon los pelos. I got goosebumps just watching when
Mira.
Frieza helped Goku and like grab Jiren and go down, and it's like, oh my god, it was so epic, man. Like,
yeah,
it was shown even in Mexico. The last episode was actually shown in the plaza, and everybody was watching it, and everybody was going crazy. Like, this is amazing. I'm getting goosebumps right now. I'm like just talking about it. Yeah, but real quick, actually, the producer doesn't want Piccolo to be green or had antennas, and the actors and the makeup artists pushed to putting that on screens.
Oh,
bro! Wow. So it could have been even worse. It could have been even worse.
Jesus, I would have laughed there.
I never loved TV, so didn't see the movie. Okay, that's completely fine. Not everybody.
I kind of know about Dragon Ball, but it's because of John. I remember that for one of your birthdays, a Dragon Ball movie came out, and
Dragon Ball, like Broly, the one for Broly.
I surprised him with tickets, and I took him to see, and he was so excited. I had no idea
what was
going on.
It wasn't the Broly one.
No,
we saw the.
Yeah,
it was. Was it the one with Frieza or was it with the one with Beerus, the cat? Because there was one with Beerus when Goku is fighting the God of Destruction, which is the purple cat. And then there was the other one. It was that one.
Resurrection. Yeah. Mira, Maglo puso Resurrection F.
Oh, Resurrection F. Was it Resurrection F?
Yeah, that's the one that we saw. It was his birthday, and I didn't know what Dragon Ball like was and stuff like that. But I surprised him with tickets, and he was so excited, and I was just like, oh yay.
Yeah. Okay, and then she saw the Broly one.
See, we saw it here.
She liked it. Yeah, the animations and everything was great. I was safe there. Yes, I rewatched so many times the last few minutes of Tournament of Powers. Bro, that's una cosa brutal. It was amazing. Resurrection F, yes, and then that's an awesome gift. Yes, bien brutal. That's why I love her so much. Okay, so real quick, because we were talking about it, I wanted to ask, what video game would you adapt into a movie? I wanted to ask, what video game would you adapt into a movie? Because
I'm gonna say one por ho, pero
dale, dilo, símbolo.
The Sims.
The Sims?
That would be so stupid. Te I would never, bro. That doesn't make sense. It's like, oh, real life? That's what. Oh, el que tiró Mag. Bioshock. Especialmente Bioshock Infinite.
Will this circle
con Troy Baker
be unbroken?
Oh yeah, that's great. We were playing Bioshock, ¿verdad?
Yeah, we're playing Bioshock. The first one.
Bioshock está durísimo.
I haven't finished it. We got to go back to maybe.
I love so many
games that we got to play. That
I would like to see, and I don't know why Disney hasn't jumped on this train, but Kingdom Hearts would be cool to see.
Kingdom Hearts, wow!
I would like to see it as a series, though, not a movie.
Me too. But hopefully they don't make. Hopefully they don't make it into an animated one.
No, I want a live action. I would like a live action.
It'd be really hard because you got all these animated characters.
Pero coñazo, sí, they did Aladdin.
No, but how are you going to make Goofy and Mickey and all that and Daffy Duck? It's going to be hard. I don't want a freaking Looney Tune type of movie like that.
I know.
Yeah, no.
People Roger Rabbit. Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Exactly. So the movie that I wanted it to be, what do you call it? Adapted. Already got adapted, and it's on the works. It's Metal Gear. So Metal Gear is already in the works. My wishes got granted.
Papi Isaac, como Solid Snake.
Isaac, yes. Metal Gear, yeah. And Max says, agree, Kingdom Hearts as in serious. Yeah, as a serious would be good. Another one that I would make. Damn, that was already done. The Witcher. The Witcher's already been done
on Netflix. See,
on Netflix, it's just a serious adaptation, something that I really love. Can you say, wait, what if they are Sims characters created, but they start feeling emotions about the decisions the god makes?
Wow, Angelo.
Yeah, no, llámate a EA Games. Llámatelo porque I like that. I like that
Nice.
premise. I feel like that.
And he's like,
premise.
to fight for your
Fight
humanity.
for your humanity, bro. That reminds me of. God, I'm thinking about Cyberpunk because Cyberpunk, there's this priest. Remember the priest in Cyberpunk that's always he's complaining about you shouldn't become a cyborg because it relinquishes you of your humanity and all that.
But he's dealing with everybody on the street doing dirty deeds, como siempre.
Yes, exactly. I like Free Guys, the Ryan Reynolds one.
I can't wait to see Free Guy, mano. I can't wait to see that film. I saw it and I was like,
yeah, I want to see that.
You know which would be another one? I would like to see somebody make an adaptation of Apex Legends, just because I think that the characters are really interesting. And I think
yes. Oh my God, yes.
I think if they do kind of like a Hunger Games thing, but in that world that they have to survive, I think
a series out of that. If you make a series out of Apex is gonna be.
I like the characters.
Because it could be.
I like them.
Because it could be kind of like Apex is kind of like a Mortal Kombat situation. Because obviously in the game, you get to play these characters, you kill each other, and then you come back to life and all that kind of stuff. But in reality, there is a story that you have to. That there's a story behind every character, and I think EA has released them in animated form. But you can definitely make a story for each character, and then the final episode or if you make it in 2-3 seasons, or that one season, the final episode is them going into battle because they need to fight for their villages or their life, which is what Mortal Kombat is. Mortal Kombat is the fight for the realms, and the chosen one for the Earth realm is actually Liu Kang. So,
do you guys think
Apex, man, that was a good choice.
Every time I see you guys play it, I imagine like a film, and I like the short films that they launch in the YouTube channel. That was the same mindset. I always think it's interesting. I think I have one right now, but I think I forgot it. Déjame pensar. I was gonna say Tomb Raider, but there's been a lot of adaptations. I haven't seen the new one though. I haven't seen the new one though.
I'm tired of Tomb Raider.
Sonic was. I have one. Sonic was good. Sonic was really good.
That's my next question. While you think about that, my next question is, which is your favorite or most hated video game movie adaptation? Or it could be TV show adaptation. Mine and already one? Huh? Mine, I was gonna say Dragon Ball, but Dragon Ball was an anime adaptation.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Super Mario Bros. And
I was gonna, tú sabes qué? I was gonna mention that, pero I was gonna ask in a sense because I rewatched that film, and I think.
When did you rewatch it?
It's on YouTube. I found it on YouTube.
Oh, it's on YouTube.
I think I saw it about like antes de la pandemia, antes del COVID. I think where Super Mario Bros fails is the fact that they try to use the whole Mario and Luigi thing. But if you set that apart, I personally think that it makes for an interesting film. If it would have been a film on its own, maybe based on certain things, because people hated that film, but it actually ended up being a cult classic. A lot of people love it.
Just like The Room.
The Room, Dios mío.
The Room.
So I most hated one, diantre mano.
I would love to see a Dino Crisis adaptation. Nice. That is not bad at all, man. Horizon Zero Dawn or Darksiders, bro.
I heard that they were considering Jennifer Lawrence for Horizon Zero Dawn, and I was just like, why? She doesn't look anything like the character.
Dude,
just
la que se parece el character. Stop. You want to know who looks like that character, bro? The one that looks like the character from Horizon Zero Dawn is the one that played Jon Snow's lover in season 4, the Wildling girl. The red-haired Wildling girl.
She's his wife in real life. Rose something. Dios mío.
Yes.
See, I know who you're talking about. She would be great.
Wow. That's like Double Dragon and House of Dead probably are the worst one I remember off the top of my head. Yes. yo te voy a decir, and King of Fighter, bro, diablo, yo vi esa película, bro. Yo dije, what in the hell is this shit?
I haven't seen this one.
Yo te la enseño. Si la encuentro, I'll show you if I see it. Bro, I saw that movie. I was like, what are you doing? And there's another one. They did Tekken. I saw Tekken. You know, it wasn't bad. It wasn't great either. And I kind of felt a little bit satisfied with the movie enough to say, you know what? It's okay. But you should look for Tekken, the first one. The second one, it lost me. The second one lost me, but
I haven't seen Tekken or Street Fighter. The one with Raúl Julia.
Street Fighter. Tienen que buscar. Like Street Fighter, the Chun-Li one was... but there's one, I think it's the Fist of Fire or Fist of Fury. I can't remember. Actually, let me look it up. Would you read the other comments while I look it up real quick so I can show people?
Yeah. Mag says that the best one, he goes with Sonic, Mortal Kombat, and the new Tomb Raider. The new Tomb Raider is good. Did you like it? I was excited because Alicia Vikander actually looks like the new Tomb Raider, because the thing about the old Tomb Raiders, even though they're kind of a guilty pleasure, I know that they only had Angelina Jolie just because she was hot. Let's face it. Like, hello. She's beautiful. So
yeah.
Por eso it's not my favorite adaptation of Tomb Raider. They just used her for her hotness, which is okay, you know. It to each its own. But Angelo says, if I would choose, it would be Darksiders. The Apocalypse is a plus for me. Nice.
And okay.
Raúl Julia is great on Street Fighters. Chacho, me imagino. He was a great freaking actor. Gomez, the OG Gomez. Papa. Así como él. Good enough, he said. Okay, we have to watch it. The Tomb Raider one.
I would like Darksiders. Yeah, Darksiders would be, man. And that'd be great. Okay, so I found it. The Street Fighter movie that you guys got to watch. I enjoyed it. It is not obviously this. The some of the acting is kind of like, but it's more from the Ken guy, the guy that does Ken. But this guy, if you didn't know, this guy was the one that was pushing to actually create a Street Fighter movie, and then they made a show. I think it was on one of the streaming services for anime. It wasn't Crunchyroll. It was a different.
I was gonna say Crunchyroll.
No, it wasn't Crunchyroll. But let me just share this real quick with everybody, so that you guys can see exactly.
So Angelo, he also says that Sonic and Tomb Raider are the best one. Okay, so mira, if you guys are saying that the Tomb Raider one is good, we have to watch it. Okay.
Yeah. So here you go.
Mira, Max says, I think, John, you were talking about the YouTube series of Street Fighter. I think is this the movie that was on the PlayStation Store that we found? Is that the one that you're talking about? Okay,
this is the movie that I'm talking about. Yeah. This movie is kind of cool. I enjoyed the fighting. It was pretty cool. The Ken guy, they fight really good and all that, but the Ken dude in acting, like, it was a little bit cringy, but I actually sustained myself because of the fighting and the rest of the acting. But him, it was like, oh gosh, it's like a knife in my eyes. Anyways, but yeah, I think so. I think they moved it to YouTube, or it was created. I'm not quite sure. I think it was, but Sonic, Tomb Raider for sure. Yeah, it might be. At least I watched the series on YouTube. Yeah, it's super cool. The Akuma origin. I have to see that. Because I haven't completely seen it. But I think you're talking about the movie. Yes, the origin is really cool. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that movie. But yeah. Lastly, guys, so we're gonna dive into news. Last news of the night.
Fuimos,
but
that's fine.
Yeah,
we're here to have a conversation with you guys, so it's fun. It's fun. I like it.
So, Europe calls for a Nintendo Joy-Con investigation. Oh my goodness! All right. So The Verge says the European Consumer Organization is calling for the European Commission to investigate Nintendo Joy-Con drift complaint. The BEUC group represents more than 40 consumer organizations across the European Union, and the umbrella organization says it has received nearly 25,000 complaints from consumers across Europe about faulty Joy-Con controllers. And I quote, according to consumer testimonies, in 88% of cases, the game controller broke within the first 2 years of use, says the BEUC. The group has now submitted a complaint to the European Commission claiming Nintendo is involved in premature obsolescence, I think that's how you say it, and misleading omissions of key consumer information. Nintendo Switch owners have been reporting issues with the controllers, removable Joy-Con controllers, ever since its launch nearly 4 years ago. Most of the reports have centered around strange joysticks drifting problems that create false inputs. Nintendo will repair drifting Joy-Con controllers for free, but even refreshed Switch models are experiencing problems.
Bueno, I just have to say that we had to get new Joy-Cons because ours were busted and it was drifting. Every single game that I played, Mario Kart, it was drifting my character. I'm playing Immortal Phoenix Rising. I jumped from PS5 to the Switch because I had no idea it was in the Switch, and I think it's more accessible and practical in the Switch, that type of game, same as Zelda Breath of the Wild. And we had to get new ones because it was drifting. It was drifting my character to places that I didn't want it to be drift. And
the thing is that I was pissed off even before. Remember when? Because she would do fitness boxing, and when I would do it, she would get perfect. And when I would do it, I would get bad. No, it was worse. Bad. I'm like, this fucking Joy-Con is broken. And I was like, no, it's not. And it's like, yeah. And I proved her wrong because it started drifting on other games. And then when we bought the new ones and I started doing the new game of Fitness Boxing 2, I started doing them and I was like, perfect. Yes, perfect. I was like, I told you.
Yeah, this is the ones that we had to get. This color.
Yeah.
Right here. So.
So, yes, this drift has been happening for a while, and Nintendo is actually probably getting sued because of the situation. And it's like they said, new models, and I know for a fact because of my boss and people that I know, new models actually have their Joy-Cons still drifting. And I was like, what the heck? Like, dudes, like Nintendo, come on. Like, you got the money, you got the resources, do that crap. And here's a fun fact. Yesterday, while I was actually doing the fitness program, the Joy-Con itself actually had an update. I didn't know that the controller could have an update through your software system like that, like through the hardware. So I was like, what the fuck? So, so yeah, we'll see. Nintendo is a great company. I mean, I would not want them to, get destroyed by this because they make great games. They're super.
I'm just surprised that it's been years and years of people complaining and they haven't done anything. That's the problem, man.
25,000 cases
since the Switch came out, and it's like we've been mentioning, it's not fun. Like me playing Mario Kart, trying to get that gold cup, gold mushroom cup, and then Mario's like, wee, goodbye. And just like,
yeah, no, most definitely. So. Yeah. All right, so we're just going to jump real quick into the Throw It Into the Universe because we've been here for 2 hours, and we just want to say thank you so much, guys, for being here with us because 2 hours and you're still here. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much, and for those who live in Puerto Rico, we really appreciate this. Yes, bro.
You guys are amazing.
Yeah, Nintendo makes great games, but it's shitty. It's a shitty company. Nacho, it's true. It's absolutely true, man. ¿Qué se puede hacer, hermano? Hay que seguir. You got to keep, hammering them down and telling them, hey, we love you, but te voy a meter. Like, no. Yeah. So, throw it into the universe. If you guys anything you want to throw into the universe, you can throw it right now. We're actually going to be talking about it. ¿Tienes sueño? Vaya a dormir. Bendición. Está cansado y todavía aquí. Gracias, bendición. That's my father, people. That's my dad right there. Gracias por estar aquí, papi. I appreciate it. Thank you. So throw into the universe anything you guys have. And we're gonna do the first one, which is Ashes throwing it
I have
into
one
the universe.
today.
There we go. Wow.
Okay, so I want to throw into the universe a movie adaptation of the musical On Your Feet, which we saw this on Broadway, actually. I found this musical again. I was watching videos, I was listening to the songs, and I'm throwing it into the universe because it's a show that it tells the story of Gloria and Emilio Estefan from the beginning of her career, like when she used to live in Cuba, when she made the jump to the United States, and then when she finally gets her big break, and then igual mano, de verdad.
Igual,
Sí.
te aprecia.
Sí.
Y sigo working. Papi, Dios mío. Tengo que hablar contigo. This is too much.
So it tells the story of how her career started, and then at the peak of her career, it ends with with her having her accident, and she wasn't able to walk for quite some time, and it ends with her redemption, coming back to an award show to sing. I remember that we went to see the show because Hector Rivera, who is an actor known in Puerto Rico, he made his Broadway debut, and my parents were here, so we all went to see it. And I was surprised by the show. It's a very heartwarming show. It's a show full of Latinos. Like the cast was 99% Latino. And that's something that's very rare to see on Broadway.
Yes.
And
I enjoyed it so much.
Yes. And I have a picture here for you guys. I have a picture here for you guys. So you guys can see how beautiful this cast is, the show is. I really think that if Gloria and Emilio Estefan were able to make such a great show, they can make an even better adaptation for this film. I would like to see it on screen. And
would you want a movie or would you want a series?
I think it would be interesting if they do a series, because the thing about this musical is that it's a bio musical, so it's the story of a well-known public figure, and I think that it could work nicely if they intertwine performances or kind of like what they did on Glee, that they would start singing different songs and in key moments, because essentially that's what the show does. It takes all of her biggest hits, but it turns it into a story. And I felt something watching these videos and listening to these people sing again. And we actually saw it with Cristi Prades, who is my favorite Gloria Estefan, and I would love to see this be adapted. I think it would be incredible for 2021. So I am throwing that into the universe. I love this show.
Yes.
And we need more Latinos on Broadway, or just bring it back to Broadway.
We definitely do. Just bring it back.
Yes, just bring it back. Just bring it back.
So I got mine right here. Yes.
You have one. Yay.
Yeah, I did. And it was actually on my way to work that I was thinking about this, because, you know, I already talked about it, but make the Harry Potter live action series a reality.
Mag también, ¿verdad? Para que Mag lo tire.
Yeah, claro, Mag está conmigo. Mag is with me, and everybody that's a Harry Potter fan. Yo, yes. Again, and it's just like Angelo used to say, rumors are rumors, but lately rumors have become reality, like a lot. And those that have been prime news have actually become reality. And I think rumors nowadays are ones that are, it's like the bait for the fish. Like, is this bait good enough for the fish to eat? And what we're going to do is we're going to throw in rumors about whatever it is that our project, or we have an idea of a project. And if people react to it in a positive way, we're going to go through it. If people don't react in a positive way, we'll just stop. But the thing about that is it can also be a double-edged sword, because when you throw something like that, it feels like you're running out of ideas. So you're letting the public dictate what you can create, what they want. See what we want to figure out what we want to see, so that you don't fail in your box office, which is still a great strategy in a sense, because of what's happened in the world, and you're limited to, you know, the amount of money you can make because of theaters closing and all that kind of stuff. So there's a mixed bag of things that, you know, brings all of this that we are talking about right now. So when we speak about the Harry Potter, and we were talking about Game of Thrones comparison like that, I think Harry Potter has a bigger advantage to making it into a series, just like Game of Thrones did, and exploring that fact. If you do work on the Harry Potter series, or if you jump back in time in a certain amount of, I don't know, or jump even further. But I think Harry Potter would benefit a lot more from a series. And I think books in general will benefit more from making series from your streaming services than making movies, because we already have experienced the heartache. We already have experienced the heartaches and the destruction of the minds, where people go crazy because they read the books and it's nothing like the books, or they're missing details. That's one of the reasons why I don't read books. But yeah,
me with Hunger Games.
Yeah, exactly. I see. Yeah, and that's the reason why people get disappointed, you know? So I would say make the Harry Potter series an actual thing, throw it into the universe, let it be real, make it, because you know what? People will want it. And people will have more detail, even though they already know the end. But who cares? Because whoever reads the books already know the end. They already know the story.
You have to see it in the way that this could be the Harry Potter for this generation.
Yeah, exactly.
And it could add. It's been done before. It can be done again.
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
no problem with that. So definitely.
Here we go. Potterhead #, always. Yes. Your podcast made it into Cine PR Time. 2-hour podcast. Yeah. Amazon is coming with the Lord of the Rings series. It would be nice to also watch a brother. Exactly. So, y aquí los mejores, ya tú sabes. Obligado que es la que hay. But I want to jump into that, mano. The Lord of the Rings series. How good will this be? Amag. This is going to be great. And they're actually going into it with good timing, because this the movies of the Lord of the Rings, not the Hobbit, the Lord of the Rings came out in 2001 and then ended in 2004. I think one came a year after another, because they actually filmed in Ireland. I think it was for an entire year.
Yeah, they filmed all the movies.
They filmed all the movies for an entire year, and then they released them 1 year after another. So it's amazing, and I think it's going to be fantastic with the Lord of the Rings series, and I think it will be even more fantastic making Harry Potter series, because, to be quite honest, yes, there's a lot of things that you have to work with in terms of special effects and all that, but you can work more with the practical effects even more, and give yourself room to breathe. But Lord of the Rings could be more expensive, because Lord of the Rings is a fictitious world. And then you will just have to go back to the same place where the hobbits lived and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, if they play them right, it could work. Just like The Witcher. Witcher is a great TV show.
I freaking love The Witcher, man. Oh my God.
My dad, hace frío, Jan. Ahí.
Hace frío. Aquí hace frío.
Yes. You know who love to pass the... Well, you know we love to pass yeah. Bien duro. Yes. Hope it's great. Yes, I hope it's great, man.
For real.
I hope it's great. And I'm just ready for Percy.
Mama,
Percy Jackson, man.
I hate the films. I hate the films. Tú sabes que the musical is better than the films. Como que es una cosa que it blew my mind. I went to see the musical on Broadway, and I was like, how is this even better than the films?
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but I believe, I believe my wife.
It's usually the opposite. No, it's usually the opposite, man. I was surprised with that show. Like,
mano, it's fantastic. So, yes, I'm waiting for all of this. Por último, estuvo nevando toda la semana hasta hoy que paró. Jesus.
Here, I think snow. No, it's kind of,
but it like small.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, if you have anything else you want to throw into the universe, now is your chance.
Put it in the comments.
Yes, because we're about to send this off. But before we do, again, we really want to thank you guys for being here so late with us. 2 hours. This is actually our first time going over 2 hours like this.
Yeah, that
no,
with the new show, because with the specials we usually do like 2 hours.
Well, we do the specials, but with the new show like this, it was fantastic.
It's thanks to all of the awesome people that were here, mano. They're like, hey, the back and forth with the comments. We love that. We love having a conversation with you guys about being geeks, because let's face it, we're all geeks and nerds, and that's what's awesome about this. So thank you guys. Like,
for sure.
You guys are amazing. They're like, hey, we appreciate every single one of you. Like, for real.
Yeah. Stay tuned, porque we're gonna actually announce within this week when we're gonna make the special of Game of Thrones.
A Game of Thrones special.
A Game of Thrones special. We're gonna make more specials, man, for shows, for movies. We're gonna talk about all these things, and I really, really want to hear your guys' opinion, because I really love having conversations and creative thought process where we try and figure out things like which one was better, what's not, what could have been better. I love having conversations. I really do, and I've enjoyed it today so much. And previous, I enjoy it almost every time. But before we head out, here we got, once again, Ash is going to let us know what we got for this week on our YouTube.
Yeah, so this week we so far we've only had one reaction, and it is the trailer reaction for Godzilla versus Kong. Like I said at the beginning of this podcast / news show, I love this thumbnail. I think it's really funny. So we react to the trailer. We talk about all of the previous, Godzilla films that have come out. We have Godzilla, King of Monsters, and Kong Skull Island. Que I have to say to Mag, we finally saw it. That's all that I gotta say about that film. But yeah,
me dormí loco. I fell asleep.
He never falls
asleep in movies. I
didn't like it. But nada, we react to the trailer. We have a conversation about all of the films. It's a really fun video. If you guys want to see the special again, it will be up either tomorrow or Friday. Between tomorrow and Friday, we will have the highlights in our YouTube channel, and then we have a second YouTube channel titled The Legacy Universe Live. That's where I put all of our streams and for gaming, the news, and all that stuff. So the really long ones at The Legacy Universe Live, and then the highlights will be up on The Legacy Universe, as well as our review for episode 3 of WandaVision.
Yes, and let me read a couple comments that have been showing up right now. Logan Lerman for Poseidon in the Percy series.
He's such a freaking good actor.
In the universe, Throne in the universe, nice.
He's such a freaking good actor. Dale ahí.
Yeah.
A mí me encanta Logan Lerman. He's a great actor. Fantastic actor.
Ahí tenemos, welcome to the club. Yes. I want to be part of that GOT.
Yeah.
Oye. Hey, vamos. Hey. Oh, you know what? Podemos hablar de eso. Podemos hablar de eso.
Vamos a reunirnos. ¿Cómo es?
Nos podemos reunir.
Vamos a
Exacto. We can make that happen. Godzilla 2014 is my favorite so far.
Thank you, man. Dios mío. Tú eres la única. Yo creo que tú eres el único.
Thank you. Es como que, come on.
Y es como él dice, it has big flaws. It's not a perfect film, pero it was the most story-wise, mixed in with the monster elements. Pero lo que fue King of Monsters, I think we saw that in an airplane, and I was bored. I was super bored. Y Kong Skull Island, esa película estuvo horripilante. Terrible. Pero una cosa que yo estaba como que...
Lo único bueno era King Kong.
Exacto.
Como que... And then Elizabeth Olsen también salía en Godzilla. She was in Godzilla.
Sí, que ella, so her and Quicksilver were brothers in Age of Ultron, but they were a couple in that film. So
and it felt so weird. I was like, "Am I watching Game of Thrones where the Lannisters
Cersei
with each other?" It's like, what the fuck?
That was Cersei and Jeremy all over again.
I don't like it. No. No, man. We react TV shit because they're
Tú
done.
sabes, Giancarlo no ha visto los bloopers que yo pongo.
Chacha, seriously, bro. Claro, tienes que poner un disclaimer cuando esté con ustedes.
Yo voy a salir en la pantalla diciendo
propiedad
con nosotros.
de CinePR. Propiedad de CinePR. So, ahí está.
Dale.
No, pero hey, here's the thing. Disclaimer, no, our page, nuestra página siempre tiene un disclaimer de que we can speak like shit and bitch and stuff like that. We can say all that kind of stuff. Sorry. It's just that we don't say it as often, but we say fucks and shits. So if you get pissed off at it, tú puedes hablar mierda si tú quieres. It doesn't matter. The only thing we say is as long as you talk in English y te sale alguna cosa en español, we don't care. As long as you're doing that, fucks and shits and peepees and stuff.
Wow.
That's Game of Thrones. You see peepees in Game of Thrones.
No me diga.
Yes,
no sé que se ven cosas ahí.
El Pietro en Game of Thrones, for sure. Todos los comentarios que hagan Angelo no representan
Mira, yo le voy a dar un screenshot a eso. Le voy a dar un screenshot y va a salir al principio como que before we start, here's a disclaimer. Y sale Maga ahí, boom.
Este contenido está malo para mí. Bro, tienes que ver Game of Thrones, you'll see. You'll check it out. Pero anyway, mi gente, gracias de verdad por estar aquí. Thank you for being with us. We really appreciate it. Before we finally go, because we are still talking.
A lot of people today.
Yes.
So exciting.
Thank you for being. If you haven't followed us here in Twitch, we really appreciate if you give us that follow. You know, it comes a long way. In Facebook, in YouTube, wherever you are watching us right now. Instagram, just hit that follow and you'll get notified when we give all this content and when more of this comes out. And you know, I promise you'll enjoy it. If you enjoy today, you'll enjoy even more our next upcoming content. Don't forget Reload. That is our Spanish podcast every Friday.
We are back.
Yes, we are back. Reload every Friday at 7 p.m. via Puerto Rico Comic Con's Facebook and YouTube. We only speak in Spanish there, but we do the same thing. We talk about movies, video games, any type of news of the entertainment. And it's approximately 1 to 2 hours that we actually do that show. And soon after that, don't forget to actually tune into CinePR. Don't forget to tune into CinePR is also.
And we are always in the comments. We are always in.
We're always in the comments. These are great guys, and they were talking with us right here. You know, as MacDiel is one of them, and then we got Angelo Davis here, their host from this. Here you go. I love you, peeps. Love you too, man. We appreciate it. So never forget. Soon after Reload, you got CinePR on their Facebook page. Head on there. And again, follow us on Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube as the Legacy Universe. We really appreciate it. You know, and you got there the Mandalorian that asked God, thrown into the universe. It was thrown into the universe, and you did get it. So we just gotta get it was thrown into the universe.
Sí, if you guys weren't seeing this at the beginning, my dad doesn't know a lot about Star Wars or the Mandalorian, but he knows that I love it. So he got me this because he got me a baby Yoda, like a baby Yoda. Mira qué chiquito. For my birthday, y hoy me llegó esto porque dijo que me faltaba el Mandalorian. Así que técnicamente tengo a Pedro Pascal aquí.
Exacto. He's right there. So yeah, guys, thank you for being here with us. We appreciate it. Remember, 7 p.m. live Puerto Rico Comic Con's Facebook and YouTube. And then afterwards, you get CinePR on their CinePR Facebook. Don't forget, guys, be there. Once again, we appreciate so much for you guys being here. Thank you for being part of the legacy. And we'll see you guys next time.